Good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from the Rustic log cabin in Northern Maine. Welcome to my reloading room today. Today we're going to be talking about some powder. In the next video, I was supposed to start charging the case if you followed up on the last video. I got time to sit down this morning, and I thought maybe we should talk about powder first before we talk about charging the case and installing the bullet. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself there just a little bit. But what you see here in front of you, don't get stuck on any one brand of powder, especially today. And that's the other reason I wanted to do this video today. And I forgot, have yourself a cup of coffee. In the old days, now I've been doing this for 40 years. Buying powder, buying primers, it's nothing new. And every once in a while, there's a little bit of a shortage. There's nothing new to that. I mean, in the state of Maine here, there's not a whole lot of distributors. So we've had to deal with that over the years. It was easy to get. I'm not saying it wasn't easy to get. For a while, there was a place not too far from me where I could purchase all of the reloading supplies that I wanted. As the guy got older, he retired and went out of business. After that, then getting the reloads was getting tougher. I ended up having to go to Kittery, Maine, which is a hell of a long ride from my dooryard to Kittery, Maine. But there's Kittery Trading Post down there, and they sold the reloading supplies that I needed. So once a year, I'd make a trip down to Kittery with a great big Christmas list, pick up everything I needed as far as my reload supplies, and then I was set for the next year. That's the way it was in the old days. Now we have the internet, and reloading and the internet go hand in hand, because now I can purchase powder and I can purchase all the different pieces I need for reloading all across the country. So as far as getting supplies now, it's a whole lot easier than it used to be, with the exception of we have some shortages now that you have to deal with. And that's why I wanted to do this video today. Don't let the shortages of today keep you from starting getting reloaded. Just start. Start by getting your equipment, like we've talked about in the videos coming up. You're not just going to go in and pick up this and pick up that and voila, you got yourself a full reloading room. Start out small. Even though it looks like I reload for a lot of rifles, I don't. I reload for 4 rifles. And when I first started out, I reloaded for 1 rifle. So if you can learn how to shoot 1 or 2 of your rifles to the best of your ability and build the very best bullet for your rifle, then reloading is perfect for you if that's what you're looking to get out of your rifle. And that's what I was looking to get out of my rifle. I reload for this 25-06. I make it shoot as good as I possibly can. I reload for the 30-06. I have 2 30-06s that I reload for, and the same deal there. I try to build a bullet the best that I can for those 2 30-06s, and so should you. Even with the basics of tools, we can build a really good bullet for hunting. You should be able to make any rifle shoot good at 100 yards, no matter what your experience is in reloading. So don't let that scare you either. When I say that, you should be able to make any rifle shoot down at 100 yards with any of the recipes out of these hand loading books well under 1 inch. And if you're well under 1 inch, that's prime rifle for a hunting rifle. Now, I prefer to have my bullets either in the same hole or at least touching the same hole 5 rounds. And if I can do that at the range, then I've had a great day at the range. I brought my bullets from up here, went to the range, and was able to pull that off. That's a difficult thing to do. Now, there's people out there that can do it any day of the week and every day of the week. Well, as you get older, You have to hone in your shooting skills more and more each year so that you don't lose them. And that's what I do with this reloading room, and that's what I do with the shooting range. Now, getting on to this powder. Now, I have a lot of IMR powder in stock. In my research for you guys, and you know, trying to get some good quality information on what's going on right now in the reloading world, I noticed that IMR powder was probably more on the out of stock. The other thing I noticed this morning was the Hodgson powder. On a couple of sites that I just visited quickly, there was lots of it in stock. So don't get stuck on any one powder, especially today. The powder is out there, so you don't have to buy 1,000 tons of it to get started. If you bought yourself, I always buy enough to make it worth it, because you're going to be paying for what's called a hazmat fee to get it across the country. I don't mind paying the hazmat fee, because when it arrives, I've got my powder. And if I buy 4 of these for me and my reloading, and I've sent away and got 4 or 5 pounds of this powder, that's set me up for a long time. So I don't mind paying the hazmat fee. I think the hazmat fee is, I think the last time I done it was $25. Now I don't know if it's gone up or what, but you might have to pay that for primers, and you might have to pay that for a powder. I don't think it's gone up. I think the hazmat fee is $25. So no matter where you can get your powder from, get your hands on it. But that's getting back to the core of today's video, is just start. You know, don't say, well, I can't get this and I can't get that, so I'm not going to start. Because even by just starting, it's still going to take you at least, in my world, back when I started, it took me close to a year before I had collected up the tools that you see me working with today. And the tools that I'm working with today are the tools that I purchased 40 years ago. And there's another little thing, little secret from my reloading room that you can take to your reloading room. Christmas is coming. Now, I don't know how your family is about Christmas, but this is how it works in my family. Everybody, you got something you want for Christmas, you put it on a list. Now, it doesn't mean you get everything on that list. But then you've got relatives. Hey, what can I get for Tommy? Hey, what does Tommy want this year? And then by putting stuff on a list, now I give my list to my wife. They don't come and ask me, they go and ask her. Or they ask my daughter. Or my daughter asks me. So on this list, you can put some of the little stuff that you would like in your reloading room. You know, you can put in like a lubricating pad. That's a great gift for someone that doesn't want to spend a lot of money, but they want to get you something that you can use. There's lots of things up here that work for that situation. Buying powder funnels, $3 to $4 a piece. That's a great gift for someone to get you a gift. And then that's for your reloading room. So, and same thing with dyes. If somebody wants to up it a little bit and they want to give you a $30 gift. Well, if you've got a list of the dye, now I give them the list. I give them the list of the dye, and I also give my wife the link to it at Medway. My wife gives me the heck how I say Medway, Midway, whatever. Medway USA. But anyways, I'll have the link for it. I give her the link, and below it I just put Christmas list. So then she has like this running tally thing that, and they're things that I can really use in the reloading room if that's what I want to put on my Christmas list that year. So you could do the same thing. Long story short, go on, search out these different websites, get some links to something that you want in your reloading room, put it on your Christmas list, and as the years go by, do the same thing for your birthday. And when I'm labeling things up here, I'll put, this came from my wife, or I'll put my daughter, or I'll put my aunt, my uncle, my relative, whatever. A little note under that. Like if you pick up my pad, you'll see what Christmas it was. On the bottom, I write it with a Sharpie. That's just one way of getting the different equipment that you need for your reloading room and keeping the price down. If you can get your hands on the powder, line it up. Line it up with this book, and that's what we're going to go into next. Is we're going to figure out how to get a load out of this book for your rifle to put on the scales, and then charge the case that we primed in the last video. But powder was next, and then we'll go over that, and we also got to go over bullets. I want to keep this series exciting for you guys if I can, and then at the very end, I want you to have the knowledge to be able to just sit down at a vise or sit down at a press and know that you're capable of reloading a bullet. And in today's age, the cost of anything, this is not too costly of a venture. Just go into it a little bit at a time, one rifle at a time, and then, like I only do 4 rifles anyways. I do all of my shotguns because they all basically take 12 gauge anyways. So, but just a little bit at a time, and then you too can have a reloading room and be really, really comfortable in your reloading room. So, have a coffee with me, and I will see you next time.